Empty vessels make the greatest, the most, sound. Enough is as good as a feast. Envy shoots at others and wounds herself. Even reckoning makes long friends. Every ass loves to hear himself bray. Every barber knows that. Every bean has its black. Every bird likes its own nest. Every bullet has its billet. Every country has its customs. Every dark cloud has a silver lining. Every day is not Sunday. Every dog has his day. Every dog is a lion at home. Every dog is valiant at his own door. Every jack has his Jill. Every man has a fool in his sleeve. Every man has his faults. Every man has his hobby horse. Every man is the architect of his own fortunes. Every man to his taste. Every miller draws water to his own mill. Every mother thinks her own gosling a swan. Everyone's faults are not written in their foreheads. Every tub must stand on its own bottom. Every white has its black, and every sweet its sour. Every why has a wherefore. Everybody's business is nobody's business. Everything comes to him who waits. Everything is good in its season. Evil communications corrupt good manners. Experience is the mother of wisdom. Experience keeps a dear school, but fools learn in no other. Experience keeps no school, she teaches her pupils singly. Extremes meet. Facts are stubborn things. Faint heart never won fair lady. Fair without foul, false, within. Fair words break no bones. False friends are worse than open enemies. Familiarity breeds contempt. Far from eye, far from heart. Fasting comes after feasting. Faults are thick where love is thin. Feast today and fast tomorrow. Fine feathers make fine birds. Fine words butter no parsnips. First catch your hare. First come, first served. First deserve and then desire. First think, then speak. Fish and company stink in 3 days. Fish begins to stink at the head. Follow the river and you'll get to the sea. Fool's haste is no speed. Fools and madmen speak the truth. Fools grow without watering. Fools may sometimes speak to the purpose. Fools never know when they are well. Fools rush in where angels fear to tread. For the love of the game. Forbearance is no acquittance. Forbidden fruit is sweet. Forewarned is forearmed. Fortune favors the brave, the bold. Fortune is easily found, but hard to be kept. For eyes see more, better, than two. Friends are thieves of time. From bad to worse. From pillar to post. Gentility without ability is worse than plain beggary. Get a name to rise early, and you may lie all day. Gifts from enemies are dangerous. Give a fool rope enough, and he will hang himself. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Give him an inch, and he'll take an ell. Give never the wolf the wether to keep. Gluttony kills more men than the sword. Go to bed with the lamb and rise with the lark. Good clothes open all doors. Good counsel does no harm. Good health is above wealth. Good masters make good servants. Good words and no deeds. Good words without deeds are rushes and reeds. Gossiping and lying go hand in hand. Grasp all, lose all. Great barkers are no biters. Great boast, small roast. Great cry and little wool. Great spenders are bad lenders. Great talkers are great liars. Great talkers are little doers. Greedy folk have long arms. Habit cures habit. Half a loaf is better than no bread. Hamlet without the Prince of Denmark. Handsome is that handsome does. Happiness takes no account of time. Happy is he that is happy in his children. Hard words break no bones. Hares may pull dead lions by the beard. Harm watch, harm catch. Haste makes waste. Hasty climbers have sudden falls. Hate not at the first harm. Hatred is blind, as well as love. Hawks will not pick hawk's eyes. He begins to die that quits his desires. He cannot speak well that cannot hold his tongue. He carries fire in one hand and water in the other. He dances well to whom fortune pipes. He gives twice who gives in a trice. He goes long barefoot that waits for dead man's shoes. He is a fool that forgets himself. He is a good friend that speaks well of us behind our backs. He is happy that thinks himself so. He is lifeless that is faultless. He is not fit to command others that cannot command himself. He is not laughed at that laughs at himself first. He is not poor that has little, but he that desires much. He jests at scars that never felt a wound. He knows best what good is that has endured evil. He knows how many beans make 5. He knows much who knows how to hold his tongue. He laughs best who laughs last. He lives long that lives well. He must needs swim that is held up by the chin. He should have a long spoon that sups with the devil. He smells best that smells of nothing. He that comes first to the hill may sit where he will. He that commits a fault thinks everyone speaks of it. He that does you an I turn will never forgive you. He that fears every bush must never go a-birding. He that fears you present will hate you absent. He that goes a-borrowing, goes a-sorrowing. He that goes barefoot must not plant thorns. He that has a full purse never wanted a friend. He that has a great nose thinks everybody is speaking of it. He that has an ill name is half hanged. He that has no children knows not what love is. He that has he head needs no hat. He that has no money needs no purse. He that is born to be hanged shall never be drowned. He that is full of himself is very empty. He that is ill to himself will be good to nobody. He that is warm thinks also. He that knows nothing doubts nothing. He that lies down with dogs must rise up with fleas. He that lives with cripples learns to limp. He that mischief hatches, mischief catches. He that never climbed never fell. He that once deceives is ever suspected. He that promises too much means nothing. He that respects not is not respected. He that seeks trouble never misses. He that serves everybody is paid by nobody. He that serves God for money will serve the devil for better wages. He that spares the bad injures the good. He that talks much errs much. He that talks much lies much. He that will eat the kernel must crack the nut. He that will not when he may, when he will he shall have nay. He that will steal an egg will steal an ox. He that will thrive must rise at 5. He that would eat the fruit must climb the tree. He that would have eggs must endure the cackling of hens. He who is born a fool is never cured. He who hesitates is lost. He who likes borrowing dislikes paying. He who makes no mistakes makes nothing. He who pleased everybody died before he was born. He who says what he likes shall hear what he doesn't like. He who would catch fish must not mind getting wet. He who would eat the nut must first crack the shell. He who would search for pearls must dive below. He will never set the Thames on fire. He works best who knows his trade. Head cook and bottle washer. Health is not valued till sickness comes. His money burns a hole in his pocket. Honesty is the best policy. Honey is not for the ass's mouth. Honey is sweet, but the bee stings. Honor and profit lie not in one sack. Honors change manners. Hope is a good breakfast, but a bad supper. Hope is the poor man's bread. Hunger breaks stone walls. Hunger finds no fault with cookery. Hunger is the best sauce. Hungry bellies have no ears. Idle folks lack no excuses. Idleness is the mother of all evil. Idleness rusts the mind. If an ass, donkey, bray at you, don't bray at him. If ifs and ans were pots and pans. If my aunt had been a man, she'd have been my uncle. If the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. If the sky falls, we shall catch larks. If there were no clouds, we should not enjoy the sun. If things were to be done twice, all would be wise. If we can't as we would, we must do as we can. If wishes were horses, beggars might ride. If you agree to carry the calf, they'll make you carry the cow. If you cannot bite, never show your teeth. If you cannot have the best, make the best of what you have. If you dance, you must pay the fiddler. If you laugh before breakfast, you'll cry before supper. If you run after 2 hares, you will catch neither. If you sell the cow, you sell her milk too. If you throw mud enough, some of it will stick. If you try to please all, you will please none. If you want a thing well done, do it yourself. Ill-gotten gains never prosper. Ill-gotten, ill-spent. In every beginning think of the end. In for a penny, in for a pound. In the country of the blind, one-eyed man is a king. In the end things will mend. In the evening one may praise the day. Iron hand, fist, in a velvet glove. It is a good horse that never stumbles. It is a long lane that has no turning. It is a poor mouse that has only one hole. It is an ill bird that fouls its own nest. It is an ill wind that blows nobody good. It is a silly fish that is caught twice with the same bait. It is easy to swim if another holds up your chin, head. It is enough to make a cat laugh. It is good fishing in troubled waters. It is never too late to learn. It is no use crying over spilt milk. It is the first step that costs. It never rains, but it pours. It's as broad as it's long. It's no use pumping a dry well. It's one thing to flourish and another to fight. It takes all sorts to make a world. Jackdaw and peacock's feathers. Jest with an ass, and he will flap you in the face with his tail. Judge not of men and things at first sight. Just as the twig is bent, the tree is inclined. Heap a thing 7 years, and you will find a use for it. Heap your mouth shut and your ears open. Keep your mouth shut and your eyes open. Last, but not least. Laws catch flies, but let hornets go free. Learn to creep before you leap. Learn to say before you sing. Learn wisdom by the follies of others. Least said, soonest mended. Leaves without figs. Let bygones be bygones. Let every man praise the bridge he goes over. Let sleeping dogs lie. Let well, enough, alone. Liars need good memories. Lies have short legs. Life is but a span. Life is not a bed of roses. Life is not all cakes and ale, beer and skittles. Like a cat on hot bricks. Like a needle in a haystack. Like begets like. Like cures like. Like father, like son. Like draws to like. Like master, like man. Like mother, like daughter. Like parents, like children. Like priest, like people. Like teacher, like pupil. Little chips light great fires. Little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Little pigeons can carry great messages. Little pitchers have long ears. Little strokes fell great oaks. Little thieves are hanged, but great ones escape. Little things amuse little minds. Live and learn. Live and let live. Live not to eat, but eat to live. Long absent, soon forgotten. Look before you leap. Look before you leap, but having leapt never look back. Lookers on see more than players. Lord, God, heaven, helps those of them who help themselves. Lost time is never found again. Love cannot be forced. Love in a cottage. Love is blind, as well as hatred. Love me, love my dog. Love will creep where it may not go. Make haste slowly. Make hay while the sun shines. Make or march. Man proposes, but God disposes. Many a fine dish has nothing on it. Many a good cow has a bad calf. Many a good father has but a bad son. Many a little makes a mickle. Many a true word is spoken in jest. Many hands make light work. Many men, many minds. Many words hurt more than swords. Many words will not fill a bushel. Marriages are made in heaven. Measure for measure. Measure thrice and cut once. Men may meet, but mountains never. Mend or end, end or mend. Might goes before right. Misfortunes never come alone, singly. Misfortunes tell us what fortune is. Money begets money. Money has no smell. Money is a good servant but a bad master. Money often unmakes the men who make it. Money spent on the brain is never spent in vain. More haste, less speed. Much ado about nothing. Much will have more. Muck and money go together. Murder will out. My house is my castle. Name not a rope in his house that was hanged. Necessity is the mother of invention. Necessity knows no law. Neck or nothing. Need makes the old wife trot. Needs must when the devil drives. Neither fish nor flesh. Neither here nor there. Neither rhyme nor reason. Never cackle till your egg is laid. Never cast dirt into that fountain of which you have sometime drunk. Never do things by halves. Never fry a fish till it's caught. Never offer to teach fish to swim. Never put off till tomorrow what you can do, can be done, today. Never quit certainty for hope. Never too much of a good thing. Never try to prove what nobody doubts. Never write what you dare not sign. New brooms sweep clean. New lords, new laws. Nightingales will not sing in a cage. No flying from fate. No garden without its weeds. No great loss without some small gain. No herb will cure love. No joy without alloy. No living man all things can. No longer pipe, no longer dance. No man is wise at all times. No man loves his fetters, be they made of gold. No news is good news. No pains, no gains. No song, no supper. No sweet without some sweat. No wisdom like silence. None but the brave deserve the fair. None so blind as those who won't see. None so deaf as those that won't hear. Nothing comes out of the sack but what was in it. Nothing is impossible to a willing heart. Nothing must be done hastily but killing of fleas. Nothing so bad as not to be good for something. Nothing succeeds like success. Nothing venture, nothing have. Oaks may fall when reeds stand the storm. Of two evils choose the least. Old birds are not caught with chaff. Old friends and old wine are best. On Shank's mare. Once bitten, twice shy. Once is no rule, custom. One beats the bush, and another catches the bird. One chick keeps a hen busy. One drop of poison infects the whole tun of wine. One fire drives out another. One good turn deserves another. One law for the rich, and another for the poor. One lie makes many. One link broken, the whole chain is broken. One man, no man. One man's meat is another man's poison. One scabby sheep will mar a whole flock. One swallow does not make a summer. One today is worth two tomorrow. Open not your door when the devil knocks. Opinions differ. Opportunity makes the thief. Out of sight, out of mind. Out of the frying pan into the fire. Packed like herrings. Patience is a plaster for all sores. Penny wise than pound foolish. Pleasure has a sting in its tail. Plenty is no plague. Politeness costs little, nothing, but yields much. Poverty is no sin. Poverty is not a shame, but the being ashamed of it is. Practice what you preach. Praise is not pudding. Pride goes before a fall. Procrastination is the thief of time. Promise is debt. Promise little, but do much. Prosperity makes friends, and adversity tries them. Put not your hand between the bark and the tree. Rain at 7, fine at 11. Rats desert a sinking ship. Repentance is good, but innocence is better. Respect yourself, or no one else will respect you. Roll my log and I will roll yours. Rome was not built in a day. Salt water and absence wash away love. Saying and doing are two things. Score twice before you cut once. Scornful dogs will eat dirty puddings. Scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. Self-done is soon done. Self-done is well done. Self is a bad counselor. Self-praise is no recommendation. Set a beggar on horseback and he'll ride to the devil. Set a thief to catch a thief. Shallow streams make most din. Short debts, accounts, make long friends. Silence gives consent. Since Adam was a boy. Sink or swim. 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow but sure. Small rain lays great dust. So many countries, so many customs. So many men, so many minds. Soft fire makes sweet malt. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. Soon learnt, soon forgotten. Soon ripe, soon rotten. Speak, talk, of the devil and he will appear, is sure to appear. Speech is silver, but silence is gold. Standers-by see more than gamesters. Still waters run deep. Stolen pleasures are sweetest. Stretch your arm no further than your sleeve will reach. Stretch your legs according to the coverlet. Strike while the iron is hot. Stuff today and starve tomorrow. Success is never blamed. Such carpenters, such chips. Sweep before your own door. Take care of the pence and the pounds will take care of themselves. Take us as you find us. Tarred with the same brush. Tastes differ. Tell that to the Marines. That cock won't fight. That which one least anticipates soonest comes to pass. That's a horse of another color. That's where the shoe pinches. The beggar may sing before the thief, before a footpad. The best fish smell when they are 3 days old. The best fish swim near the bottom. The best is oftentimes the enemy of the good. The busiest man finds the most leisure. The camel going to seek horns lost his ears. The cap fits. The cask savors of the first fill. The cat shuts its eyes when stealing cream. The cat would eat fish and would not wet her paws. The chain is no stronger than its weakest link. The cobbler should stick to his last. The cobbler's wife is the worst shod. The darkest hour is that before the dawn. The darkest place is under the candlestick. The devil is not so black as he is painted. The devil knows many things because he is old. The devil lurks behind the cross. The devil rebuking sin. The dogs bark, but the caravan goes on. The Dutch have taken Holland. The early bird catches the worm. The end crowns the work. The end justifies the means. The evils we bring on ourselves are hardest to bear. The exception proves the rule. The face is the index of the mind. The falling out of lovers is the renewing of love. The fat is in the fire. The first blow is half the battle. The furthest way about is the nearest way home. The game is not worth the candle. The heart that once truly loves never forgets. The higher the ape goes, the more he shows his tail. The last drop makes the cup run over. The last straw breaks the camel's back. The leopard cannot change its spots. The longest day has an end. The mill cannot grind with the water that is past. The moon does not heed the barking of dogs. The more haste, the less speed. The more the merrier. The morning sun never lasts a day. The mountain has brought forth a mouse. The nearer the bone, the sweeter the flesh. The pitcher goes often to the well, but is broken at last. The pot calls the kettle black. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. The receiver is as bad as the thief. The remedy is worse than the disease. The rotten apple injures its neighbors. The scalded dog fears cold water. The tailor makes the man. The tongue of idle persons is never idle. The voice of one man is the voice of no one. The way, the road, to hell is paved with good intentions. The wind cannot be caught in a net. The work shows the workman. There are lees to every wine. There are more ways to the wood than one. There is a place for everything, and everything in its place. There is more than one way to kill a cat. There is no fire without smoke. There is no place like home. There is no rose without a thorn. There is no rule without an exception. There is no smoke without fire. There's many a slip between the cup and the lip. There's no use crying over spilt milk. They are hand and glove. They must hunger in winter that will not work in summer. Things past cannot be recalled. Think today and speak tomorrow. Those who live in glass houses should not throw stones. Time and tide wait for no man. Time cures all things. Time is money. Time is the great healer. Time works wonders. To add fuel, oil, to the fire, flames. To angle with a silver hook. To be born with a silver spoon in one's mouth. To be head over ears in debt. To be in one's birthday suit. To be up to the ears in love. To be wise behind the hand. To beat about the bush. To beat the air. To bring grist to somebody's mill. To build a fire under oneself. To buy a pig in a poke. To call a spade a spade. To call off the dogs. To carry coals to Newcastle. To cast pearls before swine. To cast prudence to the winds. To come away none the wiser. To come off cheap. To come off with a whole skin. To come off with flying colors. To come out dry. To come out with clean hands. To cook a hare before catching him. To cry with one eye and laugh with the other. To cut one's throat with a feather. To draw, pull, in one's horns. To drop a bucket into an empty well. To draw water in a sieve. To eat the calf in the cow's belly. To err is human. To fiddle while Rome is burning. To fight with one's own shadow. To find a mare's nest. To fish in troubled waters. To fit like a glove. To flog a dead horse. To get out of bed on the wrong side. To give a lark to catch a kite. To go for wool and come home shorn. To go through fire and water, through thick and thin. To have a finger in the pie. To have rats in the attic. To hit the nail on the head. To kick against the pricks. To kill two birds with one stone. To know everything is to know nothing. To know on which side one's bread is buttered. To know what's what. To lay by for a rainy day. To live from hand to mouth. To lock the stable door after the horse is stolen. To look for a needle in a haystack. To love somebody, something, as the devil loves holy water. To make a mountain out of a molehill. To make both ends meet. To make the cup run over. To make, to turn, the air blue. To measure another man's foot by one's own last. To measure other people's corn by one's own bushel. To pay one back in one's own coin. To plow the sand. To pour water into a sieve. To pull the chestnuts out of the fire for somebody. To pull the devil by the tail. To put a spoke in somebody's wheel. To put off till doomsday. To put, set, the cart before the horse. To rob one's belly to cover one's back. To roll in money. To run with the hare and hunt with the hounds. To save one's bacon. To send, carry, owls to Athens. To set the wolf to keep the sheep. To stick to somebody like a leech. To strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. To take counsel of one's pillow. To take the bull by the horns. To teach the dog to bark. To tell tales out of school. To throw a stone in one's own garden. To throw dust in somebody's eyes. To throw straws against the wind. To treat somebody with a dose of his own medicine. To use a steam hammer to crack nuts. To wash one's dirty linen in public. To wear one's heart upon one's sleeve. To weep over an onion. To work with the left hand. tomorrow come never. Too many cooks spoil the broth. Too much knowledge makes the head bald. Too much of a good thing is good for nothing. Too much water drowned the miller. Too swift arrives as tardy as too slow. True blue will never stain. True coral needs no painter's brush. Truth comes out of the mouths of babes and sucklings. Truth is stranger than fiction. Truth lies at the bottom of a well. Two blacks do not make a white. Two heads are better than one. Two is company, but three is none. Velvet paws hide sharp claws. Virtue is its own reward. Wait for the cat to jump. Walls have ears. Wash your dirty linen at home. Waste not, want not. We know not what is good until we have lost it. We never know the value of water till the well is dry. We shall see what we shall see. We soon believe what we desire. Wealth is nothing without health. Well begun is half done. What can't be cured must be endured. What is bred in the bone will not go out of the flesh. What is done by night appears by day. What is done cannot be undone. What is got over the devil's back is spent under his belly. What is lost is lost. What is sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. What is worth doing at alt is worth doing well. What must be, must be. What the heart thinks the tongue speaks. What we do willingly is easy. When angry, count 100. When at Rome, do as the Romans do. When children stand quiet, they have done some harm. When flatterers meet, the devil goes to dinner. When speak it is too late to argue. When pigs fly. When Queen Anne was alive. When the cat is away, the mice will play. When the devil is blind. When the fox preaches, take care of your geese. When the pinch comes, you remember the old shoe. When three know it, alt know it. When wine is in, wit is out. Where there's a will, there's a way. While the grass grows, the horse starves. While there is life, there is hope. Who breaks, pays. Who has never tasted bitter, knows not what is sweet. Who keeps company with the wolf, will learn to howl. Wise after the event. With time and patience, the leaf of the mulberry becomes satin. Words pay no debts. You can take a horse to the water, but you cannot make him drink. You cannot eat your cake and have it. You cannot flay the same ox twice. You cannot judge a tree by its bark. You cannot teach old dogs new tricks. You cannot wash charcoal white. You made your bed, now lie in it. Zeal without knowledge is a runaway horse.